Hey guys, what's up? And welcome to another episode of Brew and Build. Whoa, hit a lag spike there. Well, welcome back to another episode of Brew and Build. We're going to be jumping pretty much right on into things today because actually it's a pretty big, fun, exciting project. Last episode, before we get into what we're doing today, last episode we started up and built this storage area. And this is kind of a mass storage area. Now, it's not fully complete. There's still obviously some trapdoors missing on the glowstone, and I'm still playing around with these textures, so I haven't really completed what this will look like. But overall, it's still looking... It doesn't need to be like super fleshed out. I don't need it to be crazy cool. Because building in a diagonal like this is quite a pain. So it's not terribly fun, especially like an interior type of place like this. It's kind of, this is the best I could come up with. But it's great. So if you didn't see last episode, I gave my thoughts on Minecraft Live and gave kind of my own recap and my own thoughts on everything that was revealed. And it was actually a really fun type of episode to make. I've considered making more episodes like that, not necessarily Brew and Build, but just videos in general. And would be interested. What do you guys think? Did you like last episode's more talky type of coverage of the news type of stuff? Wouldn't even necessarily be news, but I've considered doing videos like similar in that format, but with like ideas of mine or like just things that are in the game that I have thoughts on. What would you think about that? Do you think that would be fun? Different than Burn Build, but still Minecraft related. Anywhoozle, this is just a big old storage place for dirt. This is the dirt section. Don't have much dirt actually. We did some mining last episode, but not much. And then grass, I think I have up to there. Yep, so not much grass, the rest is empty. We have stone down below, have quite a bit of stone all the way up to here. Yeah, right here. So all of those are filled with stone. And so that is nice. Lots of stone, need a lot of it for this episode. And then this is going to be gravel. And for any of you who have the texture pack and have issues with the fact that the gravel doesn't really tile that well, I kind of missed that whole thing, but it's kind of, I've noticed the diagonal tiling because it connects up and makes diagonal lines all the way across your builds. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And it just doesn't tile that well. So I'm going to be adding in some additions to this. I actually have a few texture changes I wanted to show you before we get into today's build. And so I'm going to be, I don't have texture changes for that, but I have some fun ones to look at, and that is going to be in the update that is coming, which is going to be plant life. I want to tackle all of the plant life in Minecraft to come up with our own textures. So why don't we go ahead and jump into a creative world, our test world, to be able to just take a quick look at some of the textures I've worked on, and then we'll get into the build today because it's going to be really fun. I realized that whispering voice probably sounds really creepy. I haven't listened to the editing version of this, but I can imagine it was a little creepy. But anyways, let's look at textures. Alrighty, so we are here with all new textures minus this front row. Actually, I did not do anything to this front row. So what I've been doing is I've been going through some of the flowers and only have poppies and dandelions altered currently. And I want to make my own version. They're going to essentially feel like vanilla Minecraft, just a little updated. And so I like the poppy. I like the texture. I just don't like what the poppy looks like because it's like a lone plant. And I don't really like that. So I've gone and made a little bit of an additional little flowers, I guess, of the poppy. Altered the green as well to be a little bit more of a darker green instead of the super vibrant of this. This is like the standard Minecraft green plant vibrant color. And I don't really like that. Doesn't really go with much of anything else. It's kind of like in your face, and I don't really like that. So I calmed it down a bit. and made some different variations on the texture. So we've got, I think, like 4 different poppy variations. The flower pot I changed to being this sandstone texture. Really, really like, actually, red sandstone. I really love this as the texture. I don't know why, but I really like it. I think it's pretty cool. So this is now a more red sandstone terracotta look. The dandelion is really nice. I really like the dandelion. So we've got multiple variations of this. I think we have 5. So we have a short version here. This is pretty convenient because this is like a small version, and then this is the more grown up version, and then this is the super grown up version. So very big, little smaller, dinky. And then there's a couple that are more interesting, which would be like this one has 2 on the sides here, and then there's 2 variations of this. There's this one with the little darker bits, has some different leaves, and then this one that has these bigger leaves here. This may be a little bit of a different change. I'm not sure what you guys will think of, but I so far like it. I think I've been changing the red mushroom to have variations with smaller versions of the mushroom. So we have this is the normal vanilla Minecraft mushroom. And then we have some with little baby ones, and then some with other little baby ones with bigger ones on the sides. And then there's this one, which has a big, tall one in the center. Kind of looks like a red Christmas tree. Kind of interesting. And then we have this one, which has a bigger version of this with a couple little ones and a little bit of grass sprouting up. And I thought that was kind of like a little interesting thing. And you can see in the pot texture, I made it also have a little grass just to add a flare of color, a little fun there. I think it's pretty nice. I like it. I think this is nice. It's a nice change. Adds some flair to our mushrooms. Especially the red ones, especially, I think it needed just a little bit of love. But overall, I kept the color palette and the colors the exact same. Just added some variations. I think it looks overall pretty good. Brown mushrooms, however, not really sure if I'm happy with these quite yet. So we have, this is the regular vanilla Minecraft one. Then we have these bunches, and because it's the X pattern, it looks a little funky. I think I need to flip some of these around and kind of like do more of this, where it's like small clusters of little mushrooms versus these clusters of slightly bigger mushrooms. And I think I'm going to go with a bit more of this like flat top theme rather than this kind of theme right here with the little sticky uppy bit. I think I'm going to rework these textures, especially I've got this big old one, which doesn't look bad. This one shows up like 2% of the time, so it's not even that common. So I'll probably keep it in, but I don't know. Not really sure how to feel about the brown mushroom, but it's not that bad. Don't like the pot texture. It looks kind of strange. Yeah, don't like the pot texture, but that's okay. It's a work in progress, but these are the textures I have been working on. And here you can see some of the fence textures. We've got the dark oak fence, which overall doesn't look too shabby. Basically what I did to all the fence textures was I added bark to them as a bark overlay. Some of them turned out okay. Some of them have turned out a little wonkalicious. Jungle, not sure how to feel about it. Don't think I like the connection bit. Well, it's not horrible. It's just that little bit right there. And I'm sure that's just like the weird top mapping. I just got it wrong. So I'll play around with it, but let me know what your thoughts are on this kind of idea, because it's not horrible looking, but it's not good looking. So I'll play around with it, but just wanted to show you guys some of the textures I've been working on. Overall, I think they're pretty good. They're pretty nice. I'm enjoying myself I'm just trying to make the pack vanilla, but also a bit our own, and I think it's coming along swimmingly. But enough playing around in the creative world. Let's go ahead and get on into some building. Today we are going finally to our new area, and I have set up a command block teleportation thingamajig all ready to get over there, and have actually been starting to build already because this is going to be all time lapse. But we have this button over here that is going to take us to eventually the Heroes Guild, and this is all going to be conglomerated down into the Heroes Guild, and everything will stem from this location, and it's gonna be awesome. Now, the primary thing for today is going to be the conceptual side of things and just barely starting into the actual project itself. So, we'll forewarn you, I'm trying a new type of ideation process for this because it is such a large undertaking. I wanted to make a little bit of a different approach. So if you don't necessarily like speed painting, then feel free. You can skip the next like 3 minutes or something like that. But I wanted to just try this new thing. I wanted to try it because I haven't done it in a while. And so it's a fun thing for me to do. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it, and I will see you on the other side of the time lapse. All right, so that was a time lapse. There's a lot more building than I actually thought it was gonna be. Like I knew it was gonna be big, but I didn't really realize just how much of an effort it was gonna be to get it to the stage that I wanted. I knew it would be a lot of effort, but didn't realize there was a lot more thinking that I needed to do before I could actually like make this what it is that you see, like what you see now. But I'm very happy with it, and it's got me very excited. So I hope you enjoyed the time lapse. It was a little bit different, and let me know if you like that type of time lapse, where I do a little bit more sketching of the actual idea that I want to go for. I enjoy doing that, so I'm going to do it on my own anyways. So if you liked it being incorporated into the videos, then I will continue doing it. It's fun for me, so not that big of a deal to record it. So this is what we have got so far. Now I need to do a bit more AFKing to get some various materials back, and I need to go do some digging and stuff, but I think we've got quite a big push here. And I'm very happy with it. So you may be wondering, why is there a super detailed area and then two very plain areas? And so this area right here is, if I can bring up the sketch here, this area is actually this little point right here in the sketch. And so this is that sort of rock that is splitting the waterfalls on either side. And so the plain spots here and there are waterfall sections. Now, we're going to be doing a lot more detail on the waterfall sections themselves, but because there's going to be water flowing in front of it, and then I'll eventually put glass in front of it to get some froth and stuff, I'm not really too worried about what this area looks like right now, because I'm going to be adding like little cliff faces on the side that stick out to redirect the water, and I'm going to be adding, as I said, glass and stuff to really bring a little bit more life to the waterfall itself. So in my mind, doing stone is the best way forward because it's a blank canvas and I don't have to super detail it like this. Like this one, it really wasn't that hard because I just had all the blocks in my inventory. But it does take a little bit longer, and I wanted to get all the way up. So these markers, these netherrack markers, are where the water is going to be hitting. You can see I went in. I'm gonna probably do the base just like all the way across. But these rocky areas are going to be sticking out into this, and we're gonna have to terraform all the way down into the ocean as well. And we may even make like a couple little islands around here. So just to make it look a little bit more natural, right now it kind of just like stops. It kind of actually looks like it blends in to like the ground there, but it's actually a floating platform. So we will be fixing that, of course, and I'll be, of course, going through and bone mealing this and adding a little bit of bushes and plant life and stuff. But for now, I think so far this gets the idea. So yeah, these waterfalls are going to be huge. I think they're 32 or 42, I can't remember. They're 32, 42 sort of blocks wide. And so, yeah, going to be really big. But the reason they're going to be big is because the bridge, this is kind of the distinguishing factor of the where the river is kind of coming off from the lake that is going to be wherever back there. And so I want the bridge to be really massive. And so we need to have a really massive river. And so that's why it's so big. And so here is another viewpoint. You start getting to get a little bit of a sense of scale, but you're not going to be able to get the sense of scale unless you come right up onto it, which we can do right now. And let's throw some shaders on. And here's a good a good perspective of just how big these are. Now this is actually not like ridiculously tall, at least not in my mind. It's not ridiculously tall. So this is 50 blocks tall, I believe, and I think it gives a great sense of scale. Well, that's kind of cool. It just goes out there. Oh, never mind. There's islands coming. But it gives a great sense of scale without being too ridiculous to build. That was the main thing. Geez, these shaders are killing my frames. That was the main thing that I wanted. I wanted you to be able to get down here and be like, holy, this is a really big cliffside. But I also didn't want to like kill myself by doing like, oh, like 100 blocks would have been, this would have not gotten done. But I think 50 is a good sort of area to go with. Okay, got to turn the shaders off. That was absolutely destroying my frames, but it was nice to look at it while we could. So this is just a little flat outcropping area. We're going to be adding some like occasional trees and stuff to this area. There's not going to be any sort of buildings or anything like that. This is purely just a little island to serve the purpose of splitting our water into 2 waterfalls. And then the main town is actually going to be on this side of the river. And so then there's going to be like a massive bridge. Like say the town's going to go right around there. There's like nothing I can actually put out there because it's going to be like essentially the town's going to extend all the way out to those trees, I think. Maybe a little further, but it's going to incorporate quite a bit of space like over there, over this area. And so there's going to be a massive bridge that reaches all the way across this area here, all the way to that side. So it's going to be big. It's going to be big. But I think it's going to be cool. I've not ever built a bridge that is that big, and really not built anything this big. I guess the octa-core is to this scale, but you can already tell. This is why I wanted to get stone generation going, because of this. This is all like we have basalt generation and we have stone and cobblestone generation. So we're pretty good. The only things we don't have are gravel, dirt, and sand. And we need gravel and sand to be able to make light concrete powder. And we need to make a flower farm. But I just may make some of those things off camera, and I'll be, of course, just gathering those things off camera as well. But yeah, I think that's going to have to do it for this episode. I have worked my booty off. And hopefully, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. It is a little bit rushed and a little bit not as much building on camera, but hopefully you can see why this would be a little too difficult to actually build on camera. And I can kind of give my thought process maybe next episode on why the color palette was chosen, but overall it's just to gradient up. And yeah, so I don't know what we're going to do next episode, but we're going to be back here building. So I hope you guys look forward to that. And if you like the video, leave a like in real life. If you're looking forward to this new area to build in finally, then definitely slap the subscribe button and poke the little bell so that you are notified of when the next video comes out. And yeah, so I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.